Hello everyone, welcome back to another unboxing on this channel. Today I have a rather niche boot that most people not even know exists, and that will be the Skechers Razor. You see here's the box. It says Skechers Football, the big Skechers S on it. Right here you have the boot, you can see the colorway. White with blue. Skechers Razor, size 11/12.5 in women's, Europe 45, UK 1010, 29 centimeters, made in China. Awesome. Over here you can see some of the tech specs and performance. You can see Skechers Hyperburst Pro, highly responsive, ultra lightweight, long-lasting, resilient TPU cushioning. It's probably reserves to the actual insole or whatever that may be. The carbon-infused plate. So apparently this boot has a carbon-infused sole plate feature or something like that. Then it says carbon-infused plate technology offers an extremely high stiffness to weight ratio, which promotes stability and next-level energy return. And lastly, Skechers Performance Fit Knit, engineered lightweight knit that enhances performance with precise fit and secure lockdown. So this is probably for the upper. Yeah, that's enough about the tech specs. Let's open this up. I've already taken off a bunch of the tags and the insole paper and stuff like that, so you're just gonna see the boots as they are. But yeah, the boots, which look awesome, if I do say so myself. The string bag, S, says Skechers Football, and some paper that says Skechers Design. So let's close this up and get into the actual review. Alright, so first off, I just want to give some basic facts about the Skechers Razor. Firstly, this is Skechers' foray into the speed boot world. As you can see, this boot does feature a lot of sleek inspiration and some design features that are featured on, or not featured, but are very similar to previous boots from certain speed boot lines. Cough, cough, the Mercurial. Now, the reason I say this is because some of the designers who joined Skechers' team in the past were actually people who worked for Nike a long time ago. So it wouldn't make too much shock for people to see that their boots have like some design features similar to that of Nike boots in the past. This is also Skechers' second boot that they released. The first one was the Skechers SKX01, which was a boot that was worn by Harry Kane, and it's similar to like a control boot in the way that's designed. But yeah, I'd say that I prefer this one more in terms of looks. Otherwise, I probably would have got the SKX01. I just think that this looks sleeker, more cool, more fun to play with, and I just like the outsole design of this compared to what is on the SKX01. Some players who wear this boot, I know for sure, are Bobby D. Cordova-Reed of Fulham. You have what's his name, Anthony Alanga from Nottingham Forest. I think Calvin Morris also wears them from Luton Town. Um, I think there's a female player. She's a younger female player. I think she's closer to my age, but I think it's her name is Rhea Bowes or something. She plays for Chelsea, I believe, like Chelsea's academy. They're under 23s or something like that. And she's also Skechers sponsored and wears the Razors as well. So a decent lineup of players wearing the Skechers Razor. Obviously, it's a niche boot, so it will take some time for some traction to build for people to want to use them. But nevertheless, Skechers is doing a pretty good job of trying to market the boots to other people. There are three main points that we're going to focus on, as noted by the tags here. You have the insole, called Skechers Hyperburst Pro, and you have the upper, dubbed Fit Knit, and finally you have the sole plate, called Carbon Infused Plate. I'm going to go through them, starting from the upper, then the insole, and the sole plate, the way I normally do. I should probably cut this tag off. It's not necessary, but I'll keep it anyways, whatever. As long as it doesn't get in my way. But so first, we're going to start out with the upper. Beginning with the upper, we have what seems to be a two-piece, but also simultaneously a one-piece upper construction. Because in the forefoot, you have a different material, and in the midfoot / rear foot, you have another different material itself. So I'm going to start off with the forefoot area. You have what looks to be similar to Tasian synthetic, or at least that's what most people in the boot world are comparing this forefoot material to. And if you guys remember correctly, Teijin Synthetic was first featured on the Mercurial Vapor 10. I think it goes back to the Vapor 8 actually. So you had on the 8, the 9, the 10. You also had on the 11, but the execution was different because it had some speed ribs across the top. But this is most similar in my eyes to the Teijin Synthetic from the Mercurial Vapor 10. I can just see the silhouette and it just kind of looks more or less identical. Now, I've never had a Vapor 10, so I actually don't know what Teijin Synthetic feels like to the touch, or how it feels on feet. But just seeing that image in my head, it just has the same general silhouette. And like this feels matte like and rubbery at the same time, but also very soft. Kind of dimply, as you can see, there are some dimples across the top. Not like the Mercurial Vapor 9's dimples, like that whole golf ball texture. It's much smaller, but more grainy, I suppose. So if anyone has the Vapor 10 and can tell me in the comments what that feels like, that will do a lot for helping me understand just how similar this is to that upper. Um, Also, I've noticed that the toe box right here is a bit wider compared to most speed boots of this era, like the Puma Ultra Ultimate, the New Balance Furon V7 Pro. Although I think that does have a much wider midfoot to make up for that. Mercurial Vapor 10 or Vapor 10, Vapor 15 slash Superfly 9. You have the Adidas X Crazy Fast and the Mizuno Alpha. Um, all those boots, I feel like they generally have narrower toe boxes from my experience, and this is just a wider looking shape in general. And I believe this is the case because Skechers are known to be very ergonomic in their design of their running shoes, their lifestyle shoes, the things that they make to try and make sure that people are very comfortable when wearing their shoes. Because while Skechers may not be a household brand, one thing they are known for is the comfort that they provide with their shoes. And I think they want to do that as well with their football boots. So if that's the case, that makes sense why this looks wider. And I'll be interested to see how well this fits my toe box, which is my forefoot area, or my toes, whatever you want to call it, because I have narrow toes. I have wide toes in general, so that'll be cool to see. Then when you get up here to this upper cage, this is what I believe they call the fit knit, because if I can read here, it says an engineered lightweight knit that enhances performance with precise fit and secure lockdown. As you can see here, I think the knit comes through here, and inside the knit you can see there's like a little support cage on both sides of the boot. Yeah, you can probably see it better there. That like white piece on both sides. That's probably a support cage for this, the fit knit. So when you tie the laces tight, this probably provides a nice lockdown. But because of the fact that it's knit, and to be honest, this knit does feel pretty premium, pretty comfortable, pretty nice. So I feel like when you tie the laces tight, you get a nice snug fit and a solid amount of lockdown as well from the cage. This is also stitched in like what seems to be one piece with the Asian like upper material, and I think it makes for a pretty good looking silhouette. Maybe if the seam wasn't there and it was just a true one piece, that would have been pretty cool. But I don't know what Skechers wanted to do or wanted to execute with this boot, so I guess I can't really question that choice to make this the knit part and this more of a synthetic. It still is pretty cool though. And then you obviously have the one piece upper construction. You have no tongue. It's more of just a dual lace hole setup running through this midfoot with a sock for a collar, and you have a really low cut design. The only version you can get with this, because the SKX does come with a mid cut version as well, but this is strictly a low cut. And this collar is pretty nice in that it's kind of high. So if you need to put the boots on, you can just go like this. So it's kind of high, but it comes down pretty low. And the actual heel itself is not too high to where it would be resting on your Achilles tendon, in my opinion at least. I haven't tried the boots on, so I could just be waffling, but yeah, there's that. I am noticing a little bit of like droop from the collar on this side, which is a little weird in my opinion. But I don't know. I feel like it's not that big of a deal, and I don't think it will affect performance. I'm also curious to see how much room I'll have around my ankle because of this opening. I don't think that much because it looks like a narrow opening in general, but I'll be interested to see how that works out. Um, Here in the heel, actually, let's look at the cushioning. You can see you just have a pretty basic cushion. Honestly, this is really similar to the cushioning that's on my Phantom Luna. Very bare bones, kind of like a microfiber suede liner that's in here with no real heel pillows. But this is pretty soft in the back, as you can see. So I think the heel counter stop's kind of low, just so that's not crushing your Achilles tendon, which is a good thing in my opinion. And then obviously I just got to talk about the laces real quick. pretty thin, pretty lightweight, and they also have this blue and silver speckling on them to kind of add to that effect that's going on across the whole boot. Nice Skechers logo right here, and a nice embossed Skechers logo right there, both of which look pretty cool. And now, next, we're going to talk about the insole. So the insole is called the Skechers Razor Hyperburst Pro insole, and realistically, it's not that impressive of an insole. You just have your nice microfiber suede across the top of the insole, and on the bottom you have this wavy foam design that goes all the way down. The Skechers right here at the bottom, and so it looks decently thick, at least from the eye test. This is probably not going to focus, but yeah, it looks decently thick. But I don't think it's really going to do much. It's just going to be like another regular outsole, in my opinion. It's just like one of those marketing gimmicks that boot companies will try and put in to try and say they have more tech than they actually do. This is not really a piece of tech, in my opinion, and I doubt it will really do much to enhance the comfort experience of the boots, but who knows? I could be wrong. And then we have the outsole, which is very much mercurial inspired, if you guys can't tell. You see this, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11 bladed studs that are arranged in a way that is very, very similar to what you would get from the Nike Mercurial Superfly 5 slash Vapor 11 up to the Mercurial Superfly 8 slash Vapor 14. Just big chevron studs that are arranged in a very similar pattern. Even the heel, it just looks very mercurial-esque. Unfortunately, this does come with an internal plastic heel counter because I think an external one would have looked good rising across the S. That makes sense. But also, you get this main piece, which is the main selling point of this outsole. The Skechers Carbon Infused. Now, this piece right here is supposed to be carbon. I don't know if it's carbon fiber or just like a piece of plastic that has like some carbon bits infused. I'm not sure because when I took out the insole on the boot in the earlier section, I didn't see anything that was indicating that there was carbon fiber inside this as well. No, you can't see down into it, kind of like you can with the Speed Portal line before they replaced the Carbitex insert with what do you call it? That plastic insert. And this, it does feel pretty light. Like the fact that it's black, I guess, uh, contributes to that whole idea of it being carbon infused, but it just feels like a regular plastic insert. Technically, you could argue that plastics are carbon based because of chemistry and all that, but I'm not going to get into that really. At the end of the day, the fact that this carbon piece is at the back and not here in the midfoot slash forefoot, that kind of suggests to me that it's going to be pretty ineffective because most of your spring back and snapback is going to come from here. This area is just going to be more rigid, but most of the spring back and snapback is going to come from right there. And as you can see, this does not crease well, as you can see. Just by doing that, it does not crease well. It's kind of like a synthetic leather, if that makes sense, which makes it even closer to Tahitian synthetic, if I'm correct. But yeah, I feel like this is not going to be that effective back here, but more so effective up here. I guess that remains to be seen. And you can even see these like outlines, which I think were supposed to be where the carbon's supposed to go, unless maybe the carbon extends from over here all the way to the front. I'm not entirely sure. Also, you can see I've continued my trend of buying boots with iridescent sole plates. I think that's 3 in a row now. First, Mercurial Superfly 9 Marcus Rashford edition, then the Adidas Predator Elite FT, and now this. These iridescent sole plates I'm a sucker for. They look fantastic. And this is a sole plate that I think I will enjoy, mainly because of the traction. I love bladed studs on football boots. So if a boot can use bladed football studs, I'm definitely more inclined to buy it. And overall, I think this is just a pretty solid package as a football boot. Very sleek looking, very nice looking. You got some pretty good tech specs on there, pretty good design elements on it. It'll be interesting to see how they perform. And we will get to see that somewhat in this next portion of the review or the unboxing, whatever you want to call it, where I put the boots on for you all to see what they look like. All right, so we have the boots down right here. I got my Pure Grip Socks Pro on. I'm just gonna put the boots on. We'll get the other boot. All right, now we have both boots on feet. Tie the laces tight. And get the other lace. All right, so we have both boots on feet. They look pretty good, honestly. Very interesting fit. My toes are right up to the edge of the boot, as to be expected on both boots. Toe box is really wide. Like, I know I touched on it earlier, but it's actually really wide, and I really like that because it accommodates my foot very well. Midfoot, pretty good in terms of width. Feels comfortable to the touch. There's a little bit of dead space around the ankle. Yeah, I can slide my finger over here when I'm standing straight up. That's on both boots, so a little dead space right here. But apart from that, really like the fit. Sole plate feels really solid and balanced underfoot. This is how it looks from the back. I don't know if my camera's too close for you to see, but pretty nice looking pair of boots. It just feels good. It's solid, very comfortable, very unique package, and I am very interested to take these out on the pitch, get some touches in, and to really play in them and see how they perform. And of course, just looking down at it, the white color just goes really well, in my opinion. And, one more 360 for you guys. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this unboxing and this showcase of the boots on feet. If you like what you see, check out my other short form content on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts to see just some more training sessions, unboxings, little short form reviews that you guys can enjoy. As well, stay tuned for other videos like play tests, tutorials, and a review of these boots, hopefully coming soon, next 2 weeks or so, where you guys will get a better sense of how these perform in a match, in a practice, whatever setting you want to use them in. But overall, that's all. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.